For the New York Mets, the Yale, Ron Darling at 7-3, and Charlie Hudson leading off for the New York Mets. Developing ball player, second baseman Wally Backman. Batting second, fine athlete Mookie Wilson. Batting third, one of the best hitters in the National League, Keith Hernandez. Batting fourth, the power youngster struggling to find himself, Darryl Strawberry. Batting fifth, George Foster, struggling to get anywhere at the moment. Batting sixth, promising young catcher Mike Fitzgerald. Batting seventh, Ron Gardenhire at third base tonight. Batting eighth, the shortstop, Jose Oquendo. And batting ninth, the young Yale, Ron Darling, promising young pitcher. He has meant to this young New York Mets team as its manager. Here with Keith Hernandez. Now, your analysis of what Johnson has meant to this team as the manager.
Well, I think Davey was the right guy for the job. I mean, he's handled these kids. I mean, I think if you had a veteran manager come over and take the Mets over, they probably would have said another year in AAA for a good one. He's 19 years old. Davey's handled the kids. He's handled the pitching staff real well, given them confidence. When they got in trouble early in the season, he stayed with them instead of going to the bullpen where they had to work their way out of a jam. And I think that he's a modern type manager. He hasn't been out of the game long enough. He communicates with the players. There's no generation gap with him.
Double for Wally Backman, and indeed he peppers the wall in left field.
A very good evidence of what Jim was just talking about.
Well, normally when you're trying to pitch to a guy like Chapman, you want to pitch him away and play him away. You don't expect him to hit the ball this far. And he hits the ball really to the bottom of the warning track, right at the base of the wall.
Jeff Stone, with all of his speed, could not get back there in time, just had to play the carom. So Backman the leadoff double, and that'll bring on Mookie this year. And the big breaking pitch gets him. So all of a sudden, Darling and Hudson coming out, matching one another's on their strikeouts. That will bring on the left fielder, Jeff Stone, who's hitting an even, makes his home in Millbury, Mass.
AA performances.
Darling on two hops will go quick. And DeJesus cannot hold on to it as he got over and actually ran by the ball. Though that ball could have been hooking just a little bit on him. So Fitzgerald's aboard, and we'll see how they score it.
Of course, this is similar to the ball that he misplayed in the World Series game that I pitched. Hit right at him, but it is, as you say, hooking. Ball really picks up speed on the AstroTurf.
Right at it, and just back in time. There's a line drive down the left field line, so Darling will take hands and matter in his own hands. Moving to third, the ball is dropped by Stone, and they're going to wave him on around. The throw to the plate, Daddy drops the ball. They had him by plenty, and the Mets jump on top 1-0.
But that's exactly the story thus far of this year's Miracle Mets. They've been venturesome, bold in their base running, taking chances, forcing errors, misplays as you just saw. No way in the world that man should have tried for home, but he was sent home by Bobby Valentine.
Now Stone bobbling. Well, there's a gamble on Valentine's part, Jim.
Bobby
Exactly,
Valentine, one of the brightest young men in baseball. Look at this. That replay. Out by a mile, but no, Virgil gave up the baseball. Bobby Valentine on a team. One of the brightest young people, far distant be a manager, and one of the very best. Of Ralph Branca's daughter.
Backman will be unearned.
It simplifies the Phillies' defense. Made the most errors in the major leagues. Let him hit it to Corcoran.
Inside.
Robin Yount had what, 44?
There's a base hit, right field. So Darling will score, and the Mets jump out to a 2-0 lead. Both
Backman continues to impress. That time he was pitched inside, lined it to right field. So this is indeed a developing ball player.
Now Baca hits 2 errors and a man left after 1.5. It is 2-0. The New York Mets on play by the shortstop Oquendo to throw him out. He stayed right with it.
Yeah, that's the kind kind of play Ivan De Jesus did not execute. Here, Oquendo does. Little things mean a lot.
Be a base hit. Corcoran to second base, and he'll hold right there, knowing the good, strong arm of Darryl Strawberry. Standing on is Strawberry. Lots of room. Nobody tagging. They will not go anywhere. On the outside corner. Good fastball by Darling. 2-2 the count. Oh, this ball gets him. De Jesus is gone, and the Phillies are gone. No runs on a hit, and we're through 2 from Veterans Stadium. It's the Mets 2, and the
why they are calling them the amazing Mets again. The first team in the history of the major leagues to be in first place on June 25th after finishing with the league's worst record the previous season. At least in this century. 92. There is an amazing man. Rusty Staub. An amazing man. A great bat manipulator. That's why Drysdale remembers him. He's old enough. But no matter. Look at that.
That's deep right center and hooking away from Maddox, who did not get a good jump. It'll go high off the wall. Hernandez on his way for 2. He stands there with a double.
Typical Hernandez hit.
Well, I'll tell you, that ball was scorched.
Well, anyway, Roone Arledge says, look at this again. And to get back to the story of Stock, Roone Arledge gives me the orders. I want a guy to hit the top of the Astrodome, Fungo hit. I want 2 guys to try. Maris, who hit the 61 in 61, and Staub, the big bonus baby. Okay? Absolutely terrible. And Ramos says, you don't have to pay 2 great home run hitters.
First time at bat, Darryl would like to try and pull that ball the right side. The leadoff double by Hernandez. Down low, Strawberry walked.
And he said that.
The manager of the Texas Rangers, Doug Rader.
Ed Roebuck.
Eddie Roebuck was a great fungo hitter. Foul away. 2 for Philadelphia. There's a little looper into right, but right there is Von Hayes to make the catch.
He's throwing.
Person. Oh. Did he go around? Yes, he did. It's old Yankee Stadium. Just outside at first. The Dodgers come into old.
Yeah, they got to sign up. Catch
First at bat. It looked like a 2 count. Runners hold, and that's ball 4. So the bases are loaded. Hernandez will go to third. Strawberry to second.
.043 with runners in scoring. That's perfect.
You can play back just a little bit further. That ball will get to you quicker, very quickly. 0-2. 93. Top of the third, and the Mets trying to get some more. That's right, back up the middle, base hit. That'll score Hernandez. Here comes Strawberry. Maddox a long high throw, not in time. Throw back to third. Now they've got Fitzgerald in the rundown. They go back, and De Jesus with a tag. A 2-run score, and the Mets take a 4-0 lead on the RBI single by Ron Gardenhire. His 6th and 7th RBIs of the year.
And here we talked about the clutch pitch. Here's a fastball, 0-2. Not a very good pitch. Right up the middle for a 2-run single.
That throw high, a good throw. They might have had a play at the plate. Now the tag made by De Jesus, and that put out.
Call him amazing. He was hitting .043 with runners in scoring position.
And we're through 2.5. It's 4-0. The New York
thing standing in the way, and that's the Philadelphia Phillies.
Now the pitcher, Charlie Hudson, leading off, and a good play by Wally Backman to throw him out. Wally trying to back.
18-year-old on everybody's lips these days.
And now picks him off. Boy, there is an excellent move by Darling. Johnson going to go out and talk with the first base umpire, Dave Pallone.
Let me tell you something about Darling. That's his 5th pickoff. This is a bright young man. He knows what he's doing out there. Another point Johnson made.
Paul Owens is going to come out. That's hit well left center, giving ground Wilson. He just looks up. This ball is high off the wall. Here comes Stone. He'll score on the double by Von Hayes. It's a 4-1 ball game. A little high. Off the end of the bat. Pulled to the shortstop Oquendo. Long throw to Hernandez, and that'll do it. A run on 3 hits, no errors, and a man left. We're through 3 complete from Philadelphia. The again with another base hit to center field and high. Maddox going in the air. There goes Darling to second. A high throw, not in time. So Ron Darling testing the eye, or the arm I should say, and the eye of Maddox in center field. And he goes to second base with a double. He's 2 for 2 tonight.
Here we see a fastball. He got behind with a breaking ball. Fastball down the middle. They're playing him in the right center. Maddox can't quite get to it. Realizes on AstroTurf you sometimes have to lay back, and we saw Darling's a good athlete. Slides into second with a double.
He certainly is. Maybe Chet Ford.
Well, he'll be trying to pull the ball if he can this time.
Second base when left-handed starter starts against the Mets.
0.
And very quick.
Leon Jones.
He walks him.
Hitting a perfect pitch. Seemed unhittable, but Cleon.
Here's Mookie Wilson to face Kern. He's not going to be 8 of those earned.
And to be 12-5.
The count 2-1. Off the hand.
I have windshield wipers.
Out of play. The high chopper. Lyle underhand to Jesus. Back to first, not in time.
Right there. Another index to the current Mets. Mookie, the great athlete, the foot speed.
Situation maybe to pick up a run with Keith Hernandez coming up. Had elbow surgery, as you said.
Foul left side. Outside. It's a little low. There goes Wilson, and that's foul.
And it came
There goes the runner again.
Foster trade. No Moss.
That's fouled away again.
A lot of young players and a lot of old players. Not really old, but.
And that's fouled away. There, now he bluffs going, and it's taken high.
Williams, you remember, to damage his elbow.
That's to left field. Hit well. Going back to the wall is Stone. It's gone. Home run, Keith Hernandez. And 3 more runs by the Mets. They lead it 7-1. Darling scoring, Wilson scoring, and Hernandez with a 3-run home run. His RBI count now at 35 on the year.
He hung in there, got his pitch finally, showed you power to the opposite field. Without question, one of the best, most consistent hitters in baseball. Look at the swing, Jim. Out over the plate, snapped it right where it was pitched.
Now 7-1. The New York Mets on top. 7 runs on 8 hits. You see a happy Met dugout. And Darryl Strawberry, the hitter. He has struck out, walked, and scored. On deck, George Foster. That's low.
Very simple game. The key is just not to go 3 and.
Very 1 out. And 3 runs in for the Mets, and he walks it.
Mistake with it, but he was a fastball pitcher, and that's what his success was.
Strawberry goes to second base, and he had a jump and a half. They would have not even had a play on him, and he had a good chance of hurting himself with about an 89-foot slide. to Foster. He takes a strike. What's that slide? Look how late he slides. And that gets away from Virgil, and Strawberry will go to third. And that will bring out a little Bronx cheer, even though we're in the city of brotherly love.
Percentage points to the Mets, because this is really bad baseball.
That's to the right side. Runner coming on a contact play. They won't get him. Aguayo had to play back and play it on the big hop, and they caught him by surprise and flat-footed. There it is right there.
He's really not playing in. He's playing like halfway. Ball was hit hard. But when you're trailing 7-1, now 8-1, you got to gamble, and it didn't pay off.
Now that's the story. The Mets on top 8-1 as they busted open here in the fourth inning. And here's Mike Fitzgerald. He is the seventh man to come to the plate. Work done instead of just rearing back and seeing how hard you can throw it.
That's the meaning.
That's a good assessment. I think what time we talked. And there you see Davy Johnson.
One happy fella. Never thought it would be this easy.
He knows I'm up here.
A ball down on strikes.
There's Mel Stoudemire.
We are through 3.5. It is 8-1. The Mets on top. And there's a second baseman, Backman, to make the play. No play back at first.
The pregame show to Philadelphia to Baltimore, and as desire was to go. We are in the fourth inning, and there goes Virgil.
And for Darling, that's his third strikeout of the night. And it'll bring on Ivan.
10, they have to, their young pitchers talking about an idea of the stuff, is if their offense gets a little bit better.
Maybe the most exciting player in baseball. It's an index to what he could become.
Jesus down on strike. Strikeout number 4 for Darling. We're through 4 complete. And after 4, it's the Mets 8 and the Phillies 1.
Yes, I used to watch Danny Heat do this. His arm, his forearm.
This is Ron.
We might even.
That's it. Uke, I miss you. You're the greatest.
That's a left field hit well. Going back to the wall is Foster. This ball is gone. Home run, John Russell.
When it goes out of the ball.
To the second baseman right there. Backman stays with it to throw him out. And on the play, Stone will move to third.
Well, Davy Johnson talked. But Ron Darling's no dummy. He knows is just as good a win in September. Time I see you.
Got him looking, brought it from the outside in. Side retire, they pick up a run on 2 hits. We're through 5, 8-2. The Mets on top.
Whom have you seen this year?
I've heard about Strawberry for 3 years. But if I had to say real quick, the player at today's player I'd rather see play right today, Strawberry. He's fast. He's control. He can swish the bat. He's got a little charge about him that I like.
Okay,
And Jesus can't come up with a ball.
I guess they'll give him a hit on that. Ivana's having a great evening.
So we'll see what happens. They do give him a hit.
Well,
Again, the ball's hit hard. Sometimes you lose your concentration in 8-2 ball games. The ball did come up a little bit. I think unless you really like they have bad hands when they get on this turf.
Boy, that is so true.
Subsequent evidence to support the blasphemy. Easy steal. Look at that, Wilson. What a ball play. What an athlete.
Well, he just stole that on the pitcher.
Yep.
Ozzie Virgil didn't have a prayer. That's his 20th stolen base of the year.
And as we said, back and haunt the Mets. Maybe not tonight.
the Mets' 72nd steal. They've only been caught 18 times. Another evidence that this team is for
Foster.
He reads all that publicity. He's on the front cover of Sports Illustrated player vote. I think, though,
still a great player.
Hard to the hole, base hit left field. Here comes Wilson around third. He'll score. It's a 9-2 Met lead. Now George Foster with an RBI single. His 33rd RBI of the year. His second RBI of the night. Make that his 34th RBI of the year. That'll bring on Mike Fitzgerald, the catcher.
Able to hit Darling when it mattered.
Right, Howard.
there's been so many.
That's right. There's a little looper to right. There's Hayes, has to play it on that big hop. Here comes Hernandez. He will score, and it's a 10-2 ball game.
Everything they do is right as a team.
Now Foster stopping at second.
You know it wasn't Elrod Henry.
Steve Lindquist. Rowdy Gaines. Well, I'll tell you, the Olympics are going to be something. As the sign is retired right here from Veterans Stadium, and we are through 6 complete. It's the New York Mets 10 and the Philadelphia Phillies 2.
Those things happen.
Cat gets out there, and they will wait for that to move around, get back underneath the stands where it belongs.
That could be the best action the Philly fans have had tonight.
A little bit like the Philadelphia defense.
Got him looking. Run it from the outside in.
No, Vaughn, you're wrong. You don't stand there trailing 10-3, risking a call for a third strike on.
The last time he threw him a fastball, he had a home run or a double to left field. Here, curveball. Again, could be a little bit outside, but Bob Engel wants to get home, too.
Field line. Stone will score. Schmidt moving on to second, and now they're going to run him off the bag. The throw to the cutoff man. Oquendo's throw back to first base, not in time. Mike Schmidt just jogging to second base, and Corcoran, he was going for 2 as soon as a bat dropped at home plate. Now Johnson has motion to the bullpen. That'll be all for Darling. It's a 10-4 ball game as you see Johnson making his way to the mound.
He swings at a 3-0 pitch, and this kind of goes to what we were talking about, running when you're ahead 8-1. Mechanical problems, but he's got great stuff. Kind of ill the last couple of days, so we'll just see what kind of stuff he has.
That's hooked. The 2-1 pitch. Up the middle, that's a base hit. Here comes Schmidt. They're going to hold him, and Wilson a little lob to third. So Davey Bristol not going to take any chances with Schmidt being thrown out. That is pop first base side, playable. The infield fly rule, and Hernandez takes it in, 2 gone. And of course the infield fly rule with no outs or 1 out. Oh, watching. Third ball for the strike. The count moves on to 1-2. Hitting. And that'll bring in a run. That got De Jesus pretty good. So Schmidt will score. It's a 10-5 ball game. Outside, and there it's on the outside corner. Good breaking pitch, 1-1.
Comes in many times with the bases loaded.
Pops him up, playable. Foul territory. Hernandez is over there. And Keith makes the catch, and that will do it. The Phillies are gone in the 7th inning. And through 7, it's 10-5. The Mets on top, and we'll be back with more baseball after this word from our local station. Moving back is Von Hayes to make the catch right in front of the wall.
Okay, earlier I talked to Darryl Strawberry. Here's that. Darryl, a very candid question. Have people expected too much of you? Aren't you struggling at this point in time?
Yeah, at this particular moment, I'm struggling. There's been a lot of expectations out of me ever since I've been recalled up to the major leagues, and there's been a lot of pressure on me playing in New York City, but I learned to cope with that and just go out and try to perform at my best ability.
Didn't you actually take yourself out of the lineup in a recent game?
Yeah, I told the manager I needed a couple days off. I needed to relax. My mind was kind of frustrated. I wasn't hitting the ball well. I was pressuring myself to try to do some outstanding things. And ordinarily, a young player shouldn't do that. He should try to stay within himself and just try to play baseball. And you have the tendency of overdoing it. And in my case, that's what it was. So I asked him for a couple days off.
A weak swing and a miss, and Strawberry is down. That is the third time that he has struck out tonight.
So his frustration right there bespoke the very mood he expressed in the interview. Interesting, wasn't it, Jim?
It certainly was. And Phil Robinson, the hitting instructor, talks about going out to Los Angeles, where he's from.
Comes on, he will hit in Foster's spot. Orozco, a record of 5-2 and a very fine ERA of 2.06, making his 24th appearance of the year and 13 saves. So he's been getting 3-2. Got him looking. Orozco comes right back and strikes out Aguayo. That'll bring on Jeff Stone.
Or on the jug now.
Pretty good 3-2 pitch. Outside part of the plate.
Oh, he hung him a curve and he fooled himself.
Fooled himself.
Fooled himself, huh? Why not Wackenfuss?
Well, I think because the score is 10-5. Maybe he says Sexto Lescano, who's having a good year, hitting over 300. He just wants to save him.
For what?
And that's where your heart. Not really. And of course, Terry Forster has gone to.
That is fouled right. Who's that?
Another.
Once again to the short south. The force play at second base, and the side's retired. So after 8 complete, it is 10-5 New York, and we'll be back.
Well, we're a very good ball club, Howard. I think the key to our ball club has been our young pitching. You know, Dwight Gooden has been outstanding. Ron Darling, Walt Terrell, Eddie Lynch, all of them have pitched great. And with the addition of Brenny, we just have to have good pitching because we just haven't been putting many runs on the board.
Okay, a lot of runs tonight for the Mets. Big night for them in prime time.
Curveball. That's ABC Sports' Moon Arledge, and the coverage of tonight's game. Artificial turf.
I'm not sure that has any deep meaning, but I'll accept.
Well, they're 15-6 on the year, so again, like I said, mathematically that means they're 1-6.
That's popped right side. Over there is Keith Hernandez, and that is out number 1. One away. Reminded this
New York Mets.
That's hit hard by Virgil, the center. Mookie
right
Wilson.
where the Mookie is, and everything they are doing is right. They are a team, and there is Davy Johnson, who's got a sense of where it's at. And maybe over the course of 162 games, it won't work out for them. But for tonight, it has, and for tonight, there is the memory of 1969.
And Garcia, his first time at bat tonight, he takes it.
Nobody thought this could happen, and it hasn't happened. And there is a big hype in New York. But somehow, some way, they're putting it together in very much the manner of 69 and 70.
Curveball, bounce to the third baseman. There's Garden High, the force at second, and the ball game is over. So 10-5, the Mets defeat the Phillies, and stay tuned for ABC News Nightline tonight on Nightline with Ted Koppel striking at Terrace before they attack us. And should other countries